sometimes it's hard for me to not yell, and like Ty C will be like, Jesus, bro, like calm down, like drink some tea, just sing this part. You don't got to yell it. And I'm like, I want to yell it. Such a Dog. Back to that. Okay, so that song did take a while. I kind of got to a point where I was like, I didn't really know what to do, where to take it. I was worried about the song being too corny, like talking about the dogs, and I was like, what do I talk about? Like shitting on someone's grass, or like, like trying to get that happy medium of like metaphorically speaking about something else, but also very much so directed to being a dog. So I got to a stopping point, and then I gave it like 3 months, worked on some other stuff, and then one of those nights I came back to it, and I was like, oh shit, there it is. And It just like hit me that night. So it was like, realistically, it was like a 2 or 3 day write, but I just only worked on it for a couple days out of like 6 months.
Gotcha.
Stretched it out a bit. But I think that helped a lot. It made it come a lot more natural.
Gotcha.
No more forcing shit, I gotta finish this. It's not really on a timeline. I just want to make what I want to make the way I want to make it in my timely fashion, which, is taking my good old time.
It's the Casey time.
Yeah, it really is.
And you worked with Ty C on that one, it looks like, from the credits?
Yeah, so this entire EP was like my core group. Our drummer had moved, so we didn't have a drummer. So I basically did a bunch of, MIDI drums and tried to come up with like our own drum style, which was a lot of help from Ty C for sure. I learned so much from just making a song from the ground up. Something I can bring to a producer, and they go, "Wow, man, you're pretty organized." Because the first song I brought to Ty C, 4 or 5 years ago, he was like, what the fuck is going on in this project? I was like, I don't know, but it sounds pretty cool, right? He was like, yeah, it does. I don't know how you did this because it's all wrong. But, so yeah, Ty C was a huge part of all the songs on Wrapped Up in Wind. My guitarist, Tyler Grant, T. Grant, who's been with me for 16 years, I think, since we were about 15. So 30, it's about 15 years-ish. He helped me lay down some guitars. I would bring him a riff, and then he would riff off that, and we kind of did a lead and rhythm guitar parts for almost every song. There was a couple in there that I did, but yeah, he was a big part of it. And then DJ Unwind helped on the engineering side as well, who's my brother as well. So 3 of my best friends made it real simple. We just kind of had a good time and dove in. So that was pretty much it, credit-wise.
Absolutely, and it kind of has like a spoken word type part. And kind of, did you use that to help bridge one writing session from another one, or is that kind of just you're there one day, you're like, I'm screaming, I haven't screamed in a while?
Well, I definitely, that's a good question, because I do actually, like, a lot of times I find myself like missing being more aggressive in music, because I come from like a little bit more heavy music or like post-hardcore type of stuff. So like sometimes it's hard for me to not yell, and like Ty C will be like, Jesus, bro, like calm down, like drink some tea, just sing this part, you don't got to yell it. And I'm like, I want to yell it.
Right.
So I think the spoken word thing, like I've always enjoyed that. I fucked up real early in life, went to college for poetry. My poetry teacher was like, you do know there's no living in this, like. So then I was like, oh cool, I'll just turn my poetry into music. And then I went to college for music engineering, and my teacher there was basically like, you're failing all my classes, you don't know how to do math, you do know you don't have to be here either. And I was like, damn, dude, I just spent a lot of money for 2 people to tell me like there's no career in what you're doing right now.
Right.
But yeah, man, I guess I kind of combine those 2 things, those 2 loves, and like I really love hip hop, and I love that it's really it feels easier for me to just like free write something to a beat where I can just get it all off my chest. But as I'm not a rapper, I was like, how can I say these things in a way where, you know, I don't have to sing it? So it kind of just I merged everything into a weird melodic spoken word thing.
Right.
It just kind of happened. And I think the first one I did it to was, I want to say it was Such a Dog in the end verse. And I really liked it, and I was like, man, this could be a cool reoccurring theme where I kind of just burst out into these little tantrums, I guess. It's a pretty dramatic project. I listened to it, my buddy was like, this kind of, like, I feel like this should be a Broadway.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that's not what I was going for. You said it too, yeah. A couple people have said it, and I was like, that's not what I was going for, but I'm super down with that idea. I think it's fun, you know? It's visual, which is what I wanted.
For sure.
So
yeah, I think that's a good segue to my last question about Such a Dog. It's kind of, you mentioned a while ago when we were talking, we were doing website stuff, and you were saying how you're placing ads, but you didn't really know how to like define yourself, how it's not really like commercial, and you know, so there's nothing like a comparative. You're a man without a genre, you know, kind of
it's
like.
It's horrible. I hate that question so much.
But with this one though, like, you found a way to keep your originality and put kind of like a commercial, it should be in a movie or a theater type production to it.
Sweet.
You know,
that's a big goal. Like, I definitely want, you know, I think to have my stuff in like a movie or a TV show or something would be awesome, just because I do feel like there's strong themes and like cinematic points. Even like a couple of my buddies were like, this should be like the end of a Pixar movie, and I was like, oh, it is talking about Lucifer, but it does sound like it could be. But yeah, this year I kind of took that leap into like publishing and trying to sync licensing and all that. So I'm trying to get my stuff in, you know, the next rock movie, or get Dwayne Johnson like jumping out of a helicopter to my shit or something.
That'd be sweet. I don't think you really want the dog movie, because every successful dog movie, the dog dies, and it's
that's
just
very
like,
true.
Skuff is just tied to dead dogs, like the new the new Sarah McLachlan.
Was it Marley and Me?
I lied. I got one last question on Such a Dog. It's got a ton of spot-on dog references for a guy that's allergic and doesn't have dogs. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, you've called the song Finished because it's out. Were there any references or dog lines that you kind of had in there for a while, and you're like, nah, I got to pull this for something better?
Oh, man.
I feel like knowing you, like in that big leather book of yours, there's like pages of just funny things looking at dogs.
There was some pretty goofy shit. That's another thing. I was talking with Block the other day, and I was like, man, I always try to get across like my humor in my music, but it always ends up being like super serious.
Right.
Like, Boss Man was supposed to be funny, not funny, but it was supposed to have that like humor to it. You know how like you'd listen to Luda and you'd be like, oh yeah, Ludacris is a funny dude. You know, He showed personality, so I was like, I want to show my personality with these, and like, it just always turns out to be so much more serious than I think. But there was some goofy stuff for Such a Dog. I'm trying to think of like a specific line. There was some lines alluding to like peeing or shitting on someone else's grass. And it was kind of just like shitting on someone else's parade, you know? And I was like, I can't do this. But when I was thinking about the music video, I was like, it would be pretty funny. Right. Run around and just pee in people's yards. I don't know.
Right.
Probably could have gone bad. Cancel culture, you know. I don't know.
Well, if you're looking for music videos, currently, before you leave, we got Parker in pajamas at the moment. He's got his Christmas pajamas on. He's ready for his audition.